Quit playing with my head.
friends, welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope the weather is as beautiful by you as it has been here by me. I am in northern Illinois, a southwest suburb of Chicago, and it has been in the 50s and 60s most of the week. We've had a little bit of rain, but nothing too crazy, and it's been absolutely perfect spring weather. All of my daffodils in my front yard are starting to pop up and bloom. It's been really great to see. So I hope the weather is turning out to be just the same for you guys. Today we're going to be working on a flange binding project. Now, I kind of teased you guys with this a few months back when we went ahead and prepped the binding for this. And then we had to wait for the quilt to come back from the long arm. And I know she was a little backlogged, so it took us a little bit of a little while for it to come back, but it has finally come back, and I've been able to get this back on the channel. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Now, I don't anticipate that we're going to be able to finish this today. In fact, there's a distinct possibility that we only get about half of it done, but we'll have to wait and see. You can see that I do still have Mr. Brother. The baby brother is here with us today. I did pick up the baby lock. She is in the kitchen right now. I did not have a chance to set her back up, but she's back from service. She's all nice and clean and dandy. And so I will get her probably set up later this afternoon, so you'll see her next week. The other thing that you guys might notice is the door, the door, ooh, right there. The door is officially open. Now, Benji does still have his inflatable collar on, but we have allowed him to at least roam the house a little bit more. He's got about 2 more days before we can take the inflatable collar off, so we're pretty close. So we thought it would be okay. We are still monitoring him. We are still making sure that he's not playing too roughly with Addison. But boy, have they missed each other for sure. So I do have the door open today. So we will go ahead and call the puppies in here in just a few minutes and say hello to them. I know you guys have missed them. I have been able to see them, but I know that you guys have missed them greatly. So we're going to do that. But before we do any of that, let me first pop into chat and say hello to everybody in chat first. And then we're going to get started with all kinds of fun things. Plus, I have a little bit of a secret for you guys to share with you. Carrie Leonard was the very first person in chat this morning. Good morning, Carrie Leonard. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and thank you so much for being the first person in chat. I truly appreciate that. Sandra was also here this morning, very early. Good morning, Sandra. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the channel. Susan, the Quirky Quilter, is also here. Good morning, Susan. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you also for being a member of the channel. Just a reminder to our members, we do have a members-only live going on tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. That will be tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll be back with Mama Joyce working on our Blackberry Bramble project. It is absolutely the most beautiful quilt I've ever worked on. And we have such great conversations with the members, and we're teaching Mama Joyce how to make it. And it's been a lot of fun so far. But I think we're just finishing up with month 2 and going to be starting in month 3 soon. So it'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you check that out. Thank you again, Susan, for being a member. Linda Denton is also here this morning. Good morning, Linda. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Susan says, I've completed 2 regions in the All-Pacific Northwest Shop Hop so far. My goodness, girl, you have been busy. But that is really great to hear. Congratulations on that. I can't wait to hear all about your haul. See all of the fun and cool things you get. She says, I need to get ready for my day while waiting. No problem. Janet, Quilter824, good morning. Welcome to the channel. It is so great to see you. I can't say that I remember seeing your name before. So welcome to the channel. It's so great to see you. I don't think Lucas is in chat this morning. He was actually in town today. Him and Tony were headed back this morning. So I don't think he's actually in chat. But if he is in chat, we'll make sure to ask him to get you some extra thimbles. If not, make sure you come back on Wednesday. And I'll make sure that he gets you some. Wednesday evening, I think. I'll double check my calendar on that. Brat46 is here this morning. Good morning, Brat46. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. Am I just wrong on that, or has it been a little bit since you've been here? But either way, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Patty is also here this morning. Good morning, Patty. Welcome back. Congratulations, Patty, again on your million thimble redemption prize. She actually received it in mail. She posted pictures of it on our Facebook group. Thank you so much for posting the picture of it. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited to see what you make with all that. Speaking of million thimble redemptions, you guys know Lucas also was able to redeem his thimbles for the million. He had discussions with Mr. Wizard over the weekend about his prize. He has chosen the car as his prize. But he actually, in talking with Mr. Wizard, Mr. Wizard kind of gave him a little bit more leeway than he would do for most. And Mr. Wizard actually is going to build something specific for Lucas. So it'll be a little bit before we get to see Lucas's prize because Mr. Wizard has to acquire it first and then build it. So it'll be a little bit. But that'll be a lot of fun. And he's really looking forward to it as well. So lots of fun on all the way around. Kathy, welcome back. It's so great to see you, honey. We missed you so much, but I hope that your vacation was awesome. I did try to catch your live stream, your first live stream back, and unfortunately I was not able to catch it. But welcome back. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and thank you so much for joining us again this morning, and thank you for being a moderator of my channel as well. I truly appreciate all the hard work that you put in. I know you have your own channel to run as well, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, and welcome back. Patty says, I just got home from the grocery store and I need some coffee. Fair. That's fair. That's fair. I believe that. Yeah. Ooh, my screen just scrolled on me. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Who else is here in chat this morning? Let me scroll through and see who else I might have missed. Judy, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Judy also has her own channel, so if you guys want to go ahead and check her out, you can do !Judy in chat. Make sure to check her out. Same thing with Kathy. Do !Kathy in chat. As well as Carrie Leonard. I heard Carrie's got her own channel too. !Carrie with K. Let's see. We have a lot of content creator friends here on this channel, which is awesome. Let's see. Who else is here this morning? Scrolling through. Brenda, good morning. She says, woo, woo. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. Welcome back. And thank you also for being a member of the channel. Brenda is actually working on the Blackberry Bramble project with us. So it's been exciting to kind of have another source of examples and things. So we appreciate your help as well. It's been a lot of fun so far. Beautiful project. Absolutely beautiful fabrics. Let's see. Who else is in chat today? Dawn, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Susan says, Kathy, I was in your neck of the woods yesterday on the shop hop. Fun. Let's see. Who else is in chat this morning? Mona, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Let's see. Mary, good morning. Welcome back also. Sorry, still scrolling through chat, guys. Give me a second. My goodness, so many people here. She says, Brenda says, I'm trying to get caught up. No worry, Brenda. No worry. There's no worry. There's no rush. Trust me, there's no rush at all. Patty says, Danny, thank you for the overwhelming box of goodies. Absolutely love the fabric and the little scissors. Well, I'm glad that you like them. Hopefully they'll be helpful to you. I know you said you'd been doing a lot of EPP, so I tried to curate the notions to help you with the EPP stuff as well. So glad that you like that. And you know, hand sewing, things like that. So I tried to curate that for you. Brad46 says, I have been in, just haven't been talking. Okay, no problem. Well, I appreciate you being here, Brad46. I hope everything is going well for you. All right, I think I've gotten through everybody in chat. If I missed you, I truly, truly apologize for that. Please make sure you say hello one more time. This time I need you to tag me in it. You can use the @ with the @ symbol, and then type in "so not an expert," and what that does is it highlights it on the screen for me. So hopefully I don't miss it this time, although I do still miss them every once in a while. If you really need to get a hold of me for any reason, make sure that you reach out to one of my moderators. I think right now Kathy is the only one in chat. I have not seen Terry yet, but that's okay. Make sure you reach out to one of my moderators, and they have other ways of getting my attention if they need it. You nailed it. Oh, well, thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. I tried to, to think about it a little bit. I mean, you typically with a Thimble Redemption, I try not to think about it, honestly. I just kind of do random stuff in every box, so then kind of everybody gets it. But with these bigger price packages, I try to be a little bit more conscious of what I'm sending. But anyway, so today we're going to be working on our flange binding project. I've got my flange. We prepped the binding. I don't know what's happening down there. You see that Ivy has joined us, but I'm not sure what all the other dogs are doing. But you can see that we prepped our binding. You can see that little bitty red line there. That is the flange binding that we're going to be using. This is actually the front. So traditionally, when I'm putting binding on my projects, I will start on the front and then flip over to the back. But with the flange binding, I actually have to start on the back and then flip over to the front. So then that way I can make sure that things are lining up the way they're supposed to. So the first part of the project is pretty simple. We're just going to attach the first binding or the binding to the back of the fabric. We're going to make sure that we have the right side down. So this narrow side is going to be down on our thing so that when we roll it over, we can actually see it. Mona says you're going to lurk and listen. No problem, Mona. We understand. I appreciate you being here. All right, so let me go ahead and kind of get organized here. Not disorganized, but organized here. And then let's go ahead and call the puppies in because you guys have not seen the puppies in forever, it seems. So let me put my chat up on my phone because I tend to not be able to see it otherwise. Hold on just a second here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Lee, it is Lee, right? Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Brent, Benji. I think Mr. Wizard put Benji in his crate. Is he? Kevin, is he in his crate? Oh, okay. Brenda says, my problem is I can't remember if the A in "and" is capital or not. Maybe if you tag your screen name, we can highlight for you. Oh, Brenda, good call. Yeah, good call. I don't know. I don't honestly know. Let me see. You guys hear him? So Patty says, what is your favorite color? I think it's purple. Am I wrong? No, you are not wrong. Purple is my favorite color. Purple and lime green are both my favorite colors. Yep. Even my neighbor dogs barked. Brenda, I think it's all lowercase. So it should be okay. You guys, looks like you got it. Hi Gladys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. So we're going to be working on the back side first. But before we do that, check out this quilting. Look at the quilting on this thing. Isn't that amazing? It's a paisley design. You went with a paisley because the fabric is just so darn busy. So I went with a paisley design. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that fantastic? So the back side, you don't see it too much because the back is pretty busy, but I love that you can see it on that solid. That semi-solid, it's just so cool. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. And now if you guys have no idea what a flange binding is, make sure you check out part 1 of this series. If you go back to the channel page, you go down to miscellaneous projects, there'll be one in there that says flange binding. And it was for the Starfire project. Excuse me. You guys can check out how we prepped the binding for that. Okay, let's see. Hey, Kev, do you want to bring him in here? That way you can hang out in your room. Yeah, Mr. Wizard wants to hang out in his sunny room, and Benji's being quirky. I think he's gonna bring him in. Ivy's here with me. Hi, Ivy. Go. Hi, buddy. Yeah, you come hang out with Mama, okay? Let Daddy have some time off. Benji. Can you sit? You guys calm down. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Let me calm them down. Let me calm them down. Hi, baby. Hi. Oh, that was my finger. Take it nice. One more. Good boy. Take it nice. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Go lay down. Oh. He's been making Mr. Wizard old. Hi, Jerry. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Yes, Terry. Benji is still in his collar. He has 2 more days. Tuesday. You have to take it off on Tuesday. So we've been letting him run around today. That's why he's a little hyped up. We've been letting him run around, but he still has to wear his collar. But I guess he was playing a little bit too rough with Addie, so now he's gonna cry. Hey, Mr. Benjamin. I think that might be. This is how we tried to have a live stream, I guess. That's all right. It's okay. I'll calm down. Benjamin! Come here. Sorry, guys. These are all the happens crazy. Yes, Jerry Lucas cashed in on Thursday. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get him to calm down a little bit. Mr. Benjamin. No, you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. I know, buddy. I know. But you gotta calm down. No. No. Yeah. No, don't you hurt me. No. No. Stop jumping. Yep. Calm down. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I'm just trying to calm him down a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we're calm. Good boy. No. Relax. See, everybody's calm now. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's see if we can get him to stay calm. Hi. Yes, Lucas cashed in his million symbols. Tuesday, I think. He chose the car. Him and Mr. Wizard have been talking about the car this weekend. He was here this weekend. Sorry, what did I miss? Yeah, they're barking up a storm right now. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. We're going to start on the back side this time. Traditionally, I would start my binding on the front and flip over to the back. But with the flange binding, we want the flange to show onto the front, so we're actually going to start on the back. Let's go ahead and do that. One of the fun, cool things that I wanted to share with you guys, I did some measuring. Turns out, I do have plenty of space in my cabinet for the Juki that I want. So now I just have to find one. So, good news is that we will be getting a Juki. Bad news is we will be getting a Juki, so that means I have to pay for it now. But we'll get there. All right, so in order to sew this on, I need to make sure that I'm sewing it to the correct side. So I want to make sure that I'm sewing it. Let's see. I'm sewing the part that we want to show on the front. I'm sewing that down because when we roll it over, that will be on the top. So I'm going to give myself about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches here. And I never start on a corner. I always start like about a third of the way down somewhere in the center. And go ahead and start right there. There's a couple of Juki. The sewing machine repair center that I went to, that I dropped my machine off at to be serviced, does sell machines. I did not ask them how much they were asking. They do have the 2010 there. That's the only Juki brand, the only Juki model that they actually sell there. So I didn't ask them. Hey! Terry, yes, I've only done one flange binding before on the channel. Sorry for all the barking. Benjamin! Excuse me. Yes, I've done one flange binding before. You're the reason he's barking. Taylor's home. If you want to watch him, you're welcome to take him out. He's not on his leash. He can roam. They just can't play real hard. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, let's get started. Now that Taylor's helping everybody down. So yes, I have done a flange binding before, only one, so I'm not an expert at it. I'm just going to tell you guys how I've learned how to do it. We'll see if it's right or not. So we're going to go ahead and anchor our stitches here, and then we're going to get started. I am using the Brother. I am not using my Baby Lock. Baby Lock is back. I told you guys that. I picked her up yesterday. She is actually currently in the kitchen. I did not have an opportunity to set her up this morning. So we're just going to use the Brother today. But he sews up pretty quickly, so we should be okay. You're home from work early?
No, it's early.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that many dogs right now.
Alright, so we're just going to sew this on here. He's going to start to bark again. You give him a little bit of freedom, and he goes batshit. He just goes completely crazy. It's hard for us to remember sometimes that he is still a puppy. Like, he's almost full grown, like, size-wise. Not weight-wise. He still has quite a bit of weight to gain. But size-wise, he is just about full grown. And all of his fur makes him look bigger than he really is. So we have a tendency to forget that he is still a puppy. Gary says, I see puppy. Yeah, there's a couple of them in here, I think, that are, I know Ivy was in here. I don't know if she still is or not. She might have left with Taylor, I don't know. But yeah, he's still in here. Now he's calming down though. So we're gonna go ahead and sew this up to the back side. I'm hoping to be able to get to the point where we can start working on the actual flange part of it. So I can show you guys what that looks like. But basically, once we've prepped the binding, it's just a matter of sewing it on. You always want to start from the back. So the flange color is up right now. We consider that the quote-unquote backside of the binding. That's the red. That's right. You do see a puppy. Yep. You do see a puppy. Trying to do this a little bit quick. So what is everybody else working on this weekend? I hope you guys have gotten some beautiful weather. Hopefully you're able to spend a little bit of time outside, even if it's just sitting outdoors for just a few minutes. Get a little bit of that vitamin D. All right, I'm reaching my corner here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it now. Now, just like with our traditional binding, I do my mitered corners. So you got the piece here that I sewed up on the top here. I take this one here, I'm going to fold it up, straight up, so that I get a nice straight line with the binding and the side of my fabric. And then I'm going to bring it back down so that it lays nice and flat. Everything is laying nice and straight. Put it back on the machine, 1/4 of an inch back from the corner. And then I can start again. 1, 2, 3. But so yeah, so I've figured out that the Juki machine will fit in my sewing cabinet, which is really exciting news. Which is both good and bad news, because now that means I'm going to buy a new machine. I'm going to end up buying a new one. The Juki is my dream machine. The 2010 Q is my dream machine. And I will end up buying one. I just don't know exactly when yet, but soon. There we go. All right. So now here's the thing. So now this one is, can you kind of see? Yeah, you can kind of see here. So you can see that the red is down. So when we fold it over, we're going to roll it over like this, and you'll be able to see that this is what it's going to look like on the front. Just going to have that little bitty red line. Can you see it? That's what it's going to look like on the front when we get there. So Benji has finally calmed down. Whew. Like a little baby. So when I do get the Juki, that will become our everyday machine, our piecing machine. The baby lock will be retired as a backup, and then this brother will be an extra machine I have um, in the event that I need it, or maybe for a family member. We'll see. This is a really nice brother. It was not super expensive. Uh, excuse me. This is the HC 1850 computerized machine, and I really like it. The only thing about it that I'm not really thrilled about is the fact that it does not have a thread cutter. That's the only part about this machine that I'm not thrilled about. But the Juki is much more powerful of a machine, so it will hopefully help with some of the bulk issues that I've been having with the Baby Lock. The Baby Lock is a nice machine, but it is an older machine. So the motor on it is actually not even as strong as the motor on this brother is. And that's kind of been, it wasn't an issue for a while, but it has recently started to become an issue. Just because, I'm getting better at sewing and I'm starting to sew thicker pieces of fabric and, starting to sew a little bit faster than I was before and things like that. So it's starting to become a concern. So, now that I've been doing this for a few years and deciding what I'm going to be doing with it, earlier this year, late last year, I invested in new computer equipment for the channel so that we could kind of have better live streams, and now it's time for me to start thinking about new equipment for sewing. So I don't have a time frame yet, but it will be soon, because now that I know that it fits, it's gonna tease me. Sylvia, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Susan says, I love my Juki. Brenda says, love all 4 of my Jukis. My goodness. So, Starling, welcome back to the channel. She says, can't stay but had to like this stream and remind you all to hydrate. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. Sylvie says, my Juki is a workhorse and bulk it takes. Good, good, good. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've been wanting a Juki for, gosh, forever. Basically, since I bought this cabinet, honestly. It's been a dream machine to have. And I ended up with the Baby Lock because I really like the Baby Lock, and that was more in my price range. And I love it, but it's time to upgrade. So I will be. I just don't know when yet. But it's going to be soon. All right. Mr. Benji has finally calmed down. Now we're going to go ahead and flip this one up. Make sure everything lays nice and straight. Give myself plenty of wiggle room here. And then fold it back down. Quarter of an inch back on the machine. Put that down. But I wanted a machine that was just mechanical. I didn't want a computerized machine for piecing anymore. Something that was strong. I don't necessarily need it to sew, 5,000 miles an hour. But, yeah. I do want something that's a little bit more of a workhorse. It's not as delicate, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And so I hemmed and hawed between another brother machine that they have out there and the Juki. But ultimately it came down to price points. The Juki is actually, for what you're getting, it's about the equivalent to the Brother, but it's actually less expensive, which surprises me. But yeah. So that's the plan anyway. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up changing my mind. But so now I get to start looking into new machines. Fun stuff. You can get into sewing bags on the Juki. That's kind of, I'm hoping that having the longer neck is going to allow me to do some, to increase the amount of things that I'm doing on it. You know? Plus, I'll be able to do a little bit more with regards to quilting. Free motion quilting with it. I'm still not going to free motion quilt a full-size quilt. That's just not, I don't have that kind of time or patience. But with regards to, you know, my table runners and things that I make all the time, you know, doing things like that, I'll be able to do that a little bit better. So I'm really excited about it. Obviously, I haven't bought anything yet. I need to do a little bit of research, figure out where the best price is. Right now, I would like the 20. I'm looking at the 2010Q, but we'll see. Maybe I changed my mind entirely. Who knows? Yeah. So it will be soon, though. All right. Moving right along here, folks. Not having nearly as much trouble with this machine sewing on this binding as I typically do. Hi, Bunny. Hey. Hi. Yes, Mama's not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring you. Hi, buddy. Hi. Yes, hi. Hi, how are you? Hi, I know. You just scratched the heck out of my arm, though. Ouch. 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 Hi, buddy. Go kiss. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you. Thank you. But you gotta get down there. Thank you. Go lay down. Go play with your bone. Where's your bone? Get your bone. Get your bone. Brenda says, I bought my industrial just before the shutdown. J150 scared me, had spent so much. I use it to quilt sandwiches. Has a 12.5-inch throat. Came in a table. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a little bit bigger for me. I don't think that I'm going to spend that much yet. But, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know yet. I mean, that's definitely the one I'm looking at for sure. The 2010. But I might still change my mind. I'm gonna go to the place I go to for service. They only carry the one Juki model. They don't carry any other ones. So I might try to find another store that carries more of them and take a look. I was very excited when I figured out that the space in my cabinet is actually much bigger than I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was like 3 inches shorter than what it really is. So that was exciting. All right. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, guys. I don't think I'm going to have enough binding. Oh my gosh. I am not going to have enough binding. I didn't cut enough binding, guys. Look. Oh, wait. Hang on. I'm going to be short. What do you want to bet? Yep. Shut up. I am going to be almost exactly. Can you guys see this? That's how much extra I have. That's how much. Like, I thought I was going to be short. I'm going to be short by this much. Or I'm going to be overhanging by this much. Okay, so we're just going to have to be real careful with this. This is crazy. That can't be right, right? Wow, hang on. I mean, I don't have any extra of these two fabrics either because we used all of it to make this binding. Wow. Okay, hang on. Let's see what we got here. Seriously, like if I did this correctly, there will be this much overhang. So everybody cross your fingers. Every single one of you, cross your fingers right now because otherwise I'm going to be in big trouble. Let's see what happens. Gary says no sun here in Canada. Uh-oh, Streamlabs did something. Sorry, Carrie. Sorry about that. Stretch it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I might have to. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Carrie, sorry about that. Streamlabs is being a pain. I think you probably put an extra period in somewhere, and it thought you were posting a link. So my apologies. You're okay. It happens sometimes. I put you in timeout for 30 seconds. All right, let's see how this goes. Everybody had better have their fingers crossed. Because, my gosh. I don't think there's even enough here to do the diagonal attachment. I think I'm just going to have to do a straight attachment on it. But at this point, I don't care as long as it attaches. Holy smoke. Just give me a second here, folks. Wow. Yes, Don, this is a bias binding. Yes. I'm not frozen. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen. Am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen. Did you pause your screen, Terry? I'm not frozen. Let's see what happens. Yes, this is a bias binding. I'm gonna have to straight stitch it to assemble it anyway. Tish says, okay, I refreshed. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that it wasn't on our end. I have to wait and see. Just stretch that sucker. Yeah, we're gonna have to see here. We're getting there. I got one more corner to go around, and then we'll figure out how close we are. Hi, buddy. Hi. You're a good boy. You gotta relax, okay? Just about there. I can't believe. Yeah, it's still showing. I'm literally overhanging by the salvage. That's where I'm at right now. I'm literally overhanging by the salvage on both sides. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. This goes. Talk about stress. My God. I don't think I've ever had this happen. Typically, I have like way too much binding. But I think because I added the borders a little bit bigger than I was gonna, I think that I miscalculated. Here we go. Last corner. I hope y'all are still crossing your fingers. Yeah, yeah. I am literally overhanging by the selvage. That's all I've got is the selvage to attach this up together. And I'm going to do a straight stitch attachment here just to make sure that it attaches the way we want it to. But yeah, I'm literally on the selvage. Wow, that's just crazy. Let me get this corner down. Eyes, toes, yeah, all of the above. Yeah, right. Okay. Yes, the join, don't angle, just sew it together straight. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm literally just going to sew them together straight because there's no way to do it otherwise. This is crazy. Yep. Wow. That's crazy. I've never had this happen before where it's been this close. Let's just make sure I'm giving myself every possible piece of fabric there. Yeah. Wow. There we go, folks. Look at this. Yeah, look at that. I have literally this much. This is how much space I have. I think I need to play the lotto because I have never had that happen before. Wow. That is crazy. That is just bizarre. Wow. Okay, so now I gotta figure out how to get these to lay. Yeah. Wow. Just absolutely crazy. Yes, Dawn, I did. I cracked the code to cut the exact perfect amount of binding. I mean, I barely measured right, and I have never done that in my life. That I would, and I will probably never be able to do it again. But holy crap! My God, wow, too funny. That is just, I'm kind of blown away right now. Just give me a minute. Wow. Let's go ahead and get this thing sewn down before it changes its mind. Wow. Jeez. Wow. Look at that. It's exactly perfect. I actually have to stretch it just ever so slightly. Just like the tiniest little bit, I have to stretch it. Wow. I wow. But that's all I can say. I have never had that happen before. Wow. And I don't think I'll ever get it to happen again. Jeez. Well, there you go, folks. All closed up. Jeez. Look at that. Binding chicken victory. That's right. Yeah. Like I can't even explain to you what just happened. I don't even understand what just happened. But okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn my iron on, and I'm gonna iron this. Now, this is just an added step that I do. You don't necessarily need to do it yourself, but I have found that ironing it makes it lay a little bit flatter for me, so that it's easier to roll. Because now we are gonna have to roll it. Let's go ahead and turn my iron on. Oh my gosh, I've never had that happen before, ever. Like I've never run out of binding, but I've always had too much. I mean, literally, the salvage is all I had left. I was literally sewed the line on the salvage. Like I've never had that happen before. That is just so crazy. It's once in a lifetime. It's all that's ever gonna happen. Wow, that's just crazy. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. It's the long arm did it, not me. But yeah, it's the paisley. I went with a paisley design quilting pattern. Yeah. Just absolutely crazy. Okay, flip this over. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and iron it. I'm waiting for the iron to warm up. I'm gonna iron it open, not open, but flat. I'm just ironing it flat. So then we can go ahead and roll it, and then we're gonna sew it again. Now, the trick with this binding is you have to make sure that you're stitching in the ditch of the flange binding, so that way you don't see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So make sure that I have this correct. There we go. Now when we get to our corners, you have to kind of massage them a little bit so that your lines match up, so that your corners meet up. Can you see it? Right here where my corners meet up. So, all right, iron is hot, so let's go ahead and get this ironed out. And this just kind of helps me when I'm pulling it out. I have it nice and flat. You know, I have that seam pulled for me. So let's go ahead and just. This is again. This is just a step that I do. Some people don't iron at all, and that's totally up to them. Like I'm not that experienced yet. That I don't need to iron, but I feel like the iron really helps with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and iron it real quick. I'm still blown away. Like, never had that happen before, ever. I don't know if I told you this, but my Mama Joyce has already said that she really likes this quilt, and so she actually asked if she could have it. I told her absolutely she could have it. That is actually one of the reasons why I picked the paisley quilting pattern, is because Mama Joyce really likes paisley. And so I thought it would go really nice with it. Oh, the stress of your project of the project was suspenseful. Yeah, I have to agree with you. It was suspenseful. Yeah, the stress of whether I had enough binding was for sure stressful. All right, go ahead and iron this all the way around. Benji has finally calmed down. And Ivy is not in here with me. She must have snuck out with Taylor, because I just heard her barking from the other room. Go. You can't see Benji, but he's laying up against the door there, just relaxing. Being a good boy. Finally calmed down. You guys were watching the beginning of the stream. He was a little bit wound up. Mr. Wizard tried to go in the garage, and Benji thought he was leaving, so he started barking like crazy. Barking and whining. So. He gets to spend time in here with Mama. All right. Let's put this over here. This side now. Puppy Cam is picking up the quilt every once in a while when I move it. I've heard some people say that they only put flange bindings on their quilts. This is only the second time I've used a flange binding on a quilt. For this one specifically, I really was just trying to break up all the black on this quilt. There's a lot of black on it, and so that's why I opted for the flange binding on this one. We worked on a quilt last year, mid last year, where I put a flange binding on that one as well. It was like pink and teal. I actually gifted that quilt away. I don't have it to show you guys, but that one, same thing. The border on it was a dark teal fabric. It was real pretty teal, but it was just a lot, and so I thought the flange binding would kind of break it up a little bit, and it turned out it worked out really well. Sylvia says, I have not done flange bindings successfully. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. It is a little bit of extra work, especially in the prep stages when you're prepping the binding. You really have to take your time and make sure that you're, ironing it correctly and things like that. So it is a little bit of extra work with regards to that, and a lot of cutting of the fabric. Susan says she's never put a flange binding on a quilt. I think that for me personally, I feel like there are certain quilts that will benefit from it, and then there are other quilts that I don't really feel like it's necessary. For this one, I feel like it will benefit from it because of all of the black border around it. But when we get our Norfolk, because I do have the Norfolk quilt too that I have to put the binding on for that one as well. When we get to that one, we won't be doing a flange binding in that way because I don't think it needs it. Sylvia says, "Oh, I'll try again." Well, that's good, Sylvia. I'm glad that you're going to try it again. If you use a 2.5-inch binding, I wrote down the numbers here. Where did I put them? Here they are. If you're using a 2.5-inch binding like I did, you want 1 3/4 for the inner color. That's this flange color, so that's the red here. And you want 1 1/4 for your outer color. Those are your measurements. And then you sew them together with a 1/4-inch seam, and then you press towards the narrower fabric, so that outer fabric. Press towards that. And that will give you your 2.5-inch binding piece. And then from there, you make sure to sew it onto the back of the quilt first instead of to the front, like sometimes you would do. Like I just did here. And sew it onto the back. And then we're going to roll it over to the front. All right, so quilt is completely ironed up now. All the way back to the round. So the same thing that I do before, I never start in a corner because I feel like that just gives me too much stress. So I always start to like somewhere in the third of the way down or something like that on a side. It doesn't really matter what side. Yes, Terry, Mama Joyce is taking this quilt once it's completed. Yep. She likes all the busy fabrics on it. She really likes it. She said she really, really liked it. So I was like, you can have it. It's yours. Because I didn't know what I was going to do with it otherwise. So, all right. So now that we've got the quilt all together, you can see that the flange is kind of hanging off the edge there. So now we're going to roll it over and we're going to sew right in the ditch of this fabric. Now it's important that we sew right in the ditch with this particular fabric because otherwise you can throw things off. Now unfortunately my stitch in a ditch foot is broken. It is bent and I forgot to buy a new one. So I'm going to use my J foot instead so that I can see what I'm doing. That's what we're going to use instead. Terry says, I haven't quilted the frame pinwheels yet. I don't know who it's going to. Brenda says, the first time I tried, I cut backwards. The smallest flange needs to be cut larger. I went with it. There you go. Long as you went with it, yeah. But yeah, that is kind of the trick. Like the smallest piece of color is the one that's actually the bigger cut of fabric. It throws you off. It really does. So, all right. So let's go ahead and fold this. So now that it's ironed, it lays nice and flat on the machine for me. And now I'm just going to roll it over. And I'm going to start right here. We're going to go slow. We're going to take our time. Make sure that everything lines up the way it's supposed to. I have a brand new needle in here to make sure that the needle's not bent. Because I really need to make sure that I'm sewing this in the ditch. Just make sure that I'm doing this right. Yep. Yep. Perfect. All right. I'm focusing. Bye, Susan. Enjoy your day. Terry, I get that. Yeah, it's easier to store it as just a quilt top than a finished quilt. I get that. I understand that completely. I am actually running into that trouble myself here soon. I'm starting to get to a point where I have too many quilts completed and nowhere to put them. So I'm starting to think about that myself. Like, should I even bother completing this one or just keep it, you know, in the queue? Because I'm paying a long arm to do mine too, so I'm paying extra money for it to be quilted. I'm gonna put this over here. Oh, is that gonna work? I don't think so. I need somewhere to put this. Will it sit there? It'll sit there. There we go. I have to say though, I really like the way this machine is handling this. Much easier than on the baby lock. That is for sure. My goodness. Okay, let me. There we go. Very gently. Put some threads here. Ah. All right. So let's go ahead and get this one sewn down. Now, when we get to our corners, it's going to be a little tricky. We need to make sure that our flange lines up. That's kind of where the trick comes in. A little bit. I'm pretty sure I'm okay on bobbin. I should double check that just to make sure. Lots of little threads everywhere. I guess we're gonna find out. Missed a little bit there. I think I sewed on the red just ever so slightly. Yep, just a little bit. Gotta make sure that I'm stitching in the ditch here really well. So now with the flange corner, I'm going to sew down one corner first, and then I will come back and line up the other corner to lay over top of it. So then that way I know that it lines up the way that it's supposed to. I'm approaching my corner. So I've got only one side, the side that I'm sewing down. That's the only side I have folded. I do not have the other side folded forward yet. And I'm going to sew to about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And then I'm going to back tack. Okay, let's go ahead and back tack that. Okay. Pull it off the machine. Cut these threads. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and roll this one now. And we're going to make sure that our corner, our point, lines up, which it does. Let's go ahead and roll this over. Bring this back onto the machine. Line up our needle right with where that flange lines up. Perfect. I'm going to sew a couple stitches forward and then a couple stitches back. Okay. And then I am good to go. Sorry guys, I see chat is moving, but I'm really not paying too much attention to it. I'm focused on this. Here, look what I got here. This is what it looks like. See the line? See that? That's the look we're going for. See this little red line? That's all we're looking for. That's what your flange binding will do. It gives you just that little tiny, little teeny tiny little breakup of the colors. See? Isn't that neat? So neat. Just gives it a little bit of a different look. a very subtle touch to it, but I think that I think it just adds a little something extra to these quilts when you've got these really solid colored borders. Thank you, Terry, very much. She says, wow, I love it, Danny. Thank you. I am very happy with it myself, very pleased with it, how it turned out. I know it's been a long time in the making because we had to prep it. Well, first I had to pick out, the quilt top's this is one of my whips. This quilt top was done probably a year and a half ago. And then I had to pick some fabrics for the backing, the borders and binding and stuff. And I did that while we were in at our Quilt Town adventure last year in July. And then it sat for a while because I didn't really have time to send it to the long arm or do anything else with it. So then I finally got it sent to the long arm for quilting. And then that's when we prepped the binding itself. That was an episode all by itself, prepping the binding. And now here we are attaching it. So, yeah. It's been a long time coming. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm sewing faster with this machine than I do with my baby lock. I think just because the dogs are chill now. Yeah, I don't can you see Benji? No, I don't think you can. He's just on the other side of the dog bed there. He's just on the other side of the dog bed there, laying up against the door. He's sweeping. He's sweeping. Tay's home now. That whole excitement was because Taylor came home from work. She works split shifts on Sundays sometimes. She'll work till noon, then come home, and then go back about 2 o'clock, 2:30. Because they don't have any daycare on Sundays, they just have the boarding. So she just goes in and takes care of the boarding dogs. So goes in, takes care of them real quick. All right. It's looking so nice. I love it. It looks so fantastic. It really turned out nice. I'm so happy with it. You guys hear him snoring? He just started snoring. Like, Addison snores all the time. Like, all the time she snores. Benji's just started snoring like the last week. Kathy, did you do anything fun on your vacation or just kind of spend time at home? I did that a couple weeks ago. I just took a week off from my day job. and just spend time at home doing some stuff. Got to spend some time with Mama Joyce and all right. All right, so I folded down only one side and sewed it up all the way to the edge. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and turn it. So here's the corner I was telling you guys about. Can you see the corner? Look at that. Nailed it. Now I will likely go back and slip stitch this just because it's kind of lifted here, so I'll probably go back and just stitch it by hand just to keep it down. So then that way, if anybody's using it, like they don't get their toe or something caught in there. I could always go back with this here and just stitch right down the edge if I wanted to. I might do that too. I don't know. We'll see. But that's just something I'm gonna have to take care of. All right. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and fold this side in, making sure that my flange corners line up. There we go. I think there's enough in here to do what I want to do. So. I just stayed at home watching baseball and playing video games with my daughter. I never went to my sewing room once the whole time. Kathy, yeah, me too. Like I had intended to go into my sewing room and just kind of spend time in here, but honestly, I mean, I did come in here because this is also doubles as my office for computer game playing, but I didn't do any sewing. Like the whole time I had expected to, and I didn't, and so yeah, I get that, and I'm really glad that you took the time for yourself. It's important that we take some time for ourselves, you know. I don't think some people realize just how exhausting sometimes being a content creator can be. Um, but I'm glad you enjoyed your time off. We missed you, of course. We're glad you're back. Now, one of the important things to note about the flange binding, and I wanted to point this out to you guys in case this is something you're thinking about doing. Because we're stitching in the ditch and we've rolled it over, and I used a 2.5 inch binding. Because we've rolled it over, I've got about a half an inch here, not just a quarter of an inch, but about a half an inch of roll over here. And because I'm stitching in the ditch, I'm sewing down kind of far down here. And so my stitching on the back is actually about a quarter of an inch away from the ditch on this side. So it's important that you guys understand that you're going to want to make sure that you have a nice thread color that really blends in with that background, because otherwise you're going to see it pretty well. So this one I can still see the stitching all the way along the edge, but it's in black thread, so you're not going to notice it. Because you have to stitch in the ditch on this front side to make sure that everything lays nice and flat the way it's supposed to. So make sure that you're using a thread color, or even when you're going to do this, make sure you have a backing that thread color can really blend into. So you're not going to be able to see it on mine, but there's a black stitch line right here. Let me see if I can point it out. It's right here. This is where the stitch line is, because that's where I'm sewing from the front. So it's not here where the actual stitch meets. So now the other thing you could do is you could try and shorten up your binding as well. You could try it 2 1/4 instead of a 2 1/2. and then the stitching might lay a little bit closer together. I don't like working with the 2 1/4 inch binding. It stresses me out. I've tried and I just don't really care for it. So I always use a 2 1/2. And plus I really like having that little bit of a chunky binding on it myself. But that is an option for you. That would be one way to avoid this extra stitch line back here. So just keep that in mind if this is something you're planning to do. These are just lessons that I have learned that I want to pass along to you. I am by no means an expert at any of this. These are just things that I have learned. And I am using my J foot to help me with this to make sure that I'm getting it in there. I do have a stitch in the ditch foot, but mine is actually bent. So sometimes the needle comes down on it. So I need to buy a new one. And I just haven't yet because I really don't use it that often. Typically, I use my 1/4 inch presser foot when I'm doing my binding because I like the little 1/4 inch. It gives it a really nice finished look when I use my 1/4 inch presser foot when I'm doing a traditional binding where I have it rolled over to the back. Because it doesn't stitch it in the ditch, it stitches it just above it, and to me it gives it this really nice finished like seam look, like you would see in like a pants or something, or like a cuff seam, things like that. I really like that look for my traditional bindings. Benji, quiet. All right. So these are just things to keep in mind if this is something, if this is a technique that you would like to try and do on your own. Now, if you're going to be hand stitching your binding down, then you don't need to worry about that at all. Guy says BRB, dog needs to go out. No, I get that. I understand. But if you're hand stitching your binding down, then you don't need to worry about that. It's only if you're lazy like me and you're machine stitching it down. Benji, quiet. Benji, quiet. All right. Trim these threads. Turn the quilt. Turn it, turn it, turn it. There we go. Show you the other corner that we just finished up. I'm so proud of that. Looks so fantastic. And we're gonna fold this one down. sure this one matches up the way it's supposed to. This one's actually a little off. Not a lot off that it's really going to make a difference. It's just like a couple of threads off, honestly. But it's going to make me crazy nonetheless, so I just got to be careful with it. There we go. Put that needle down to hold it in place. So nice. Can you guys see it? Looks so nice. The line there. So nice. Really, really happy with it. Really, really pleased. I think it does a fantastic job of breaking up that black border the way I wanted it to. Hi, Dr. Brownie. Welcome back to the channel. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. Am I going to be doing the 4th of July so along with my So Quilty Life? No, I didn't know anything about it. I will take a look at it, though. Thanks for letting me know about it. But no, I had not planned on it. No. Sounds like fun. I know a lot of content creators are doing a lot of 4th of July stuff and patriotic stuff for the 250th anniversary. I haven't really thought about it, honestly, if I'm honest. I haven't really thought about it or plan to do anything with it. I might do something with our members. I don't know yet. I hadn't really planned on anything, no. But I encourage everybody else to go check it out. It's My So Quilting Life. A sew along for July 4th. That sounds like fun. Alright. Like, it's actually sewing. Yeah, okay. I was worried there for a second that I had missed some bobbin thread. I know my bobbin was not full when I started, but I figured there would be enough to do the project. We'll have to wait and see. Will I get as lucky with the bobbin thread as I got with the binding? Do you think I could get that lucky twice? If I do, I'm definitely going to buy a lottery ticket for sure. Like, if it turns out that that is the case, I'm going out and buying a lottery ticket. Yeah, 100%. But I don't feel like my luck is usually with me, so. Oh, you're just wondering because I've done our other bomb things. No, I appreciate but no, I have not. I don't have any more Block of the Month programs that I've signed up for recently. Well, I take that back. I have signed up for a couple, but they don't start until the one I started doesn't start until September. And the other one doesn't ship until June, but that one's not a block of the month. That one's just a project kit. But no, I have not. No, but I have the Spools of the Year project is by my So Quilting Life, my Quilty life or Quilty my So Quilty Life. That is that project is by that maker. So yeah, you're right. I have done other projects by them before, but not this one in particular. No, or not that one in particular. No. Trim off all these threads here. There's a bunch of them. We're getting down to our last corner. Can you believe that? Like that's how quickly this is going. Like can't believe how fast I sewed this up. Like normally this takes me forever to do. So I think it's the machine. I really do. I feel like this machine is sewing faster than my baby lock normally does. But as I did say, that this one does have a more powerful motor in it. The baby lock is an older machine. I bought it used. Um, it's like 2016, I think, is the year on that one. So it's definitely an older machine for sure. And I think that that has a lot to do with um, the the speed and power of it, which is one of the other reasons why I've been thinking about buying a new machine. All right. Last corner here. All right. Rotate. Rotate. So all I have left is from here to here. That's it. That's all I got. Let's see. That one lined up almost perfect. There we go. All done. Go ahead and cut these threads here. Trim off these threads here. Like I said, I will slip stitch the corners here by hand. Actually, let me try and do this not by hand. Let me try and do this the real way. Lorraine, Lorraine, feel like I have not seen you in forever. Welcome back to the channel. It is so great to see you. Thank you very much for saying that. She says she likes how the flange accents the red border. She said she's going to have to try that. And that's exactly, ouch, 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 ouch. I know, I love you too, buddy, but ouch. That's exactly what I was going for when I decided to do this one. So let's see if we can go ahead and sew these corners down. I'm going to try and do them on the machine because you guys know how much I hate hand sewing. So I'm going to actually see if I can't sew these down like this. Because this machine does not seem to have any trouble with the bulk, so... I don't seem to have any trouble with it at all, so... My other machine would be just eating it up. That actually looks pretty good. I'm actually happy with that, so I think we're going to do that rather than trying to hand sew these down, because the hand sewing will make me insane. Let's grab all the corners then. So all I'm doing is I'm putting the corner down. I'm starting in the middle here, and I'm just literally sewing the corner down with a nice straight stitch right along the edge, and that's all I'm doing. So I'm not doing anything fancy. Nothing super fancy, just sewing it down. I could probably do something fancy with it if I wanted to, like a zigzag stitch or something fancy, but I don't need to. I'm just trying to anchor it down, that's all. I just don't want somebody's toe to get caught in it, you know? And if I wanted to hand sew this, I could, but I really hate hand sewing. So I try and avoid hand sewing if I can manage it. There we go. Perfect. Here it is. There we go. Cut all the threads off. There we go. Perfect. That one actually looks really nice. That one looks really nice. Alright, let's see what else we got. Did I go this way? No, I did not. Okay. Grab this thread here. Tuck that under. It has been like forever. Still getting my sewing stuff set up. I moved to North Carolina. Oh, that's right, Lorraine. I remember now. You had mentioned that you were moving. I hope the move went well, obviously. And you'll be sewing together. You'll be sewing in no time, I'm sure. But I'm glad to hear that you're back. We missed you. Yeah, this machine has no problem with this bulk at all. It's just the baby lock that has an issue. Which doesn't really surprise me, given its age. But we're going to buy a new machine anyway, so. We're going to get a new machine anyway. Alright, one more corner. Yep, this one here. This one's already got some thread on it, so let's go ahead and grab the thread off there. And off there. Right. Machine addict. Yay to the new machine, Terry says. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of homework and figure out. I'm 99% sure I'm gonna end up with a Juki with the 2010 Q, but um I will do a little bit of research and kind of investigative work just to 100% make sure. Because if I'm going to spend that kind of money on a machine, I want to make sure that it's definitely the one I want, and there's no regrets or anything. So, all right, friends, guess what? We are officially done. Yay! And I didn't have to hand sew, which is always an accomplishment. But there you go. See the line? There you go. And like Patty pointed out, I chose the red so that it would accent with this border piece here. I probably could have went a little bit smaller on this border chunk here, and then I probably wouldn't have had so much stress with the binding. But I kind of like the big chunky binding on it. I think or the border on it. I think it really, because the quilt is so busy. I mean, look at these fabrics; they're just so busy. I feel like this really settles your eye a little bit. But I wanted something that kind of separated the binding from the border, and I feel like I don't know what's going on with my camera right now, but I feel like this piece here really did that for me. This red piece here, I think that really worked for me. Wow, what is happening with my camera? There we go. Okay. So let me show you what the corners look like again, just so you guys can see them. See the corners there. This one is, get a different one. You see that red piece lined up almost exactly the way it was supposed to. This one actually lined up perfect. This is a good one to show you. Yay, Brenda! She says, and I just finished cutting a block 2 for Blackberry. So that's awesome. Well, you've got all day today to sew that one up, or all day today, and then during the day tomorrow if you're not already working. You're about halfway through that one if I remember correctly. So there you go. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is the second time I've done a flange binding on a project, and I love the look that it gives it, especially when you have a nice solid color border, a big chunky solid color border. I think it really helps to break up that solid color. Yes, Terry, we will be live tomorrow evening for our members only series. And then I think we're also live on Wednesday. I'm going to double check my calendar on that to make sure. But yeah. Let me check to make sure. We're back on Wednesday for Whip Wednesday, where we are going to be finishing up our Easter Bunny that we were working on last week, Tuesday. We're going to be finishing that up on Wednesday. And I was worried that we were going to need to be finishing up this project as well, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case, which is good. So that is good. So yeah, here we go. I love it. I love the backing fabric too. It's these bikes, really cool bikes. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I have to wash it still, but awesome. I just love it so much. So yeah, live stream tomorrow for our members only series where we're back working on our Blackberry Bramble project. I will post a link on our members page, our members community page, so that if anybody wants to join us on the Zoom, you are welcome to do so. It is recorded and it is still a live stream, so just remember, keep that in mind. If that's not something you're comfortable with, I completely understand. And then we will be back here again for all of our subscribers and everybody again on Wednesday for With Wednesday, where we will be working on our finishing up our um, Easter Bunny project. Jaja Brownie says, I want to get the Genome 6700P. I've not looked into that yet, Jaja. I will have to make a note and look into that one. I want to get a straight stitch machine that is mechanical, preferably not computerized. Right now, I have had my heart set on a Juki 2010Q for a while. I've been looking at that one for a while. I've been dreaming about that one for a while. But I've also really liked my brother's. I really like my brother machines. My Baby Lock and brother are both the same brand. I really like those. So I don't know yet. I just don't know. The Baby Locks are more the brothers and Baby Locks are, what I'm looking at, is much more expensive. And the base on it I don't think will actually fit. So I do know for a fact that the Juki will fit because I've measured it. But now it's just a matter of finding the best deal and you know, finding the one I want. So it'll be a little bit yet, probably a month or two. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Who knows? It might be next week. Well, now that I know it fits, like it's just gonna be this thing that's hanging over my head. So, so we'll see. But I love my brother. This is a brother HC 1850. I love it. It's a nice, inexpensive machine. I think it was like less than $200. When I bought it, it was less than $200. I think now it's like just over 200. I really like it for what it's supposed to be doing, and that's for piecing and things like that. The only thing about this machine that that I don't really like is the fact that it doesn't have a thread cutter on it. But otherwise, I love the machine. I love the strength of it, the power of it. It works really well. It doesn't seem to have too many issues with bulk as long as it's just a couple of layers. Any more than a couple of layers, it does kind of get a little angry. But my Baby Lock is, I loved my Baby Lock. I love some of the features that are on it. It's just, it's not as powerful as I need it to be. And I'm finding the more work projects that we're working on, especially like this with binding and things like that, it does not like bulk. It does not like bulk at all, and I don't know if it's the feed dogs that aren't strong enough or what it is, but it just doesn't like it at all. So, well, we'll see. Teresa Louise has a straight stitch brother. Really, Brenda? I thought she had a Juki. I'll have to check her out again. Jessica said she wants a Genome HDP. It's the straight stitch. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking into it. I haven't really decided. I have a brother, SW9185 from Walmart, does the job. That's right, Judge. Yeah, I have one of those as well. I have one of those that I actually borrowed out. I lent that one out to a friend, and I have not gotten that one back yet. But yeah, I mean, I started with your inexpensive Walmart one, and then I upgraded to this one. Actually, this is the second one that I bought for myself. And then this one didn't have the thread cutter on it, and it didn't have some of the like auto back stitching things like that. And so I wanted to upgrade a little bit. So that's when I got the Baby Lock. I bought the Baby Lock used on eBay, so it was not a brand new purchase for me. It was the most I had ever spent on the sewing machine at like $350, I want to say. And which was still really inexpensive compared to all the other machines out there for what I wanted it to do. And I think it works really well. I think it does exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm just kind of ready for an upgrade. I've had the Baby Lock for... How long have I had the Baby Lock? I have had the Baby Lock for as long as I've had the channel. So 4 or 5 years now, I think. 5 years, I think I've had the Baby Lock. So, time for an upgrade. So. P1500. Okay, thanks for that, Terry. Let me write that down. I do really, really like the Brother machines. I really do like them. I like the brand. I'm familiar with them. I know how the threaders work. I really like them. And so honestly, I would love to be able to stick with a Brother if I could. You said, Here, the P1500. So brother P1500. And you think 4 years? Yeah, Terry, I did. So I had a 4 year, yes, 4 year anniversary for the Facebook page. 3 year anniversary for yes, because I bought the baby lock just before I started my live streams, or just before I started the channel, so like a couple months before. So I think I've had the baby lock for 4.5, maybe 5 years. Oh, Terry, you are awesome. I'm clicking that link. Damn. Okay, now you've given me something to think about. 25 deep. That might be too big. I need to know what the size of it is without the table on it. It's a nice machine. Now you've given me something to think about. Thanks, Terry. Thanks. Thanks for that. I don't know what I just did there. Okay. Talk to Teresa about it? Okay. Oh, Teresa. I was thinking Tiffany for some reason. Yes, Teresa has one. Yes. Juki, yeah, Linda. Yeah, I knew Tiffany had that. I was thinking Tiffany when everybody was talking Teresa. Yeah, I knew that Tiffany had the Juki. Yeah. You know, Tiffany's got a Juki. Teresa's got the brother, which is exciting. I'm kind of interested to know more about that one. And then Sean just bought a. Didn't he just buy a Husqvarna? Did he just buy or a Genome? I can't remember which one he bought. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. We'll have to, oh, that's the 1600. Because that one's about the same price point that I'm looking at for the Juki too. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know yet. We'll see. A FAF. Thank you. Yes, a FAF. I knew it was something else. But his is also a computerized machine too. I have enough computerized machines. I don't need a computerized machine. I would like a straight stitch, like workhorse machine. So we'll see. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna look into it. It's definitely an option. It's definitely something we're gonna be looking into. Baby Lock will be back probably tomorrow. I'll probably set her up today. So she'll definitely be back tomorrow. There's a FAF. Yeah, Sean has a FAF. Yeah, you're right. So, but anyway, friends, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. I love talking about new sewing machines, dreaming. I haven't bought anything yet, but I'm looking into it for sure. I'm trying to decide what I want. I really like the idea of the brother, but I really like the idea of the FAF too. So, or not the FAF, the Juki too. So I don't know yet. We're gonna have to wait and see. Yes, Linda, I do have bad weather coming in a couple of days. They're talking about, they are saying that the tornado weather is supposed to be further north than me, so hopefully that'll work out. But we are in for some more bad storms. We've already had hail twice this year. So far, no damage to cars yet, but you know, we can only be lucky for so long. But anyway, friends, thank you again so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Congratulations to all of our Thimble redemptions. Thank you for all of our subscribers. I didn't even ask you guys. If you guys can make sure you click that like button on your way out, I'd really appreciate it. And if you are still watching the channel and you are not already, please consider subscribing. As you can see, we have a lot of fun here on this channel, making all kinds of really cool projects, learning all kinds of new techniques and things like that. We will be back here again on Wednesday for Whip Wednesday, where we're going to be finishing up our bunny wall hanging. And then next Sunday, we're going to have to cut our live stream short by about 30 minutes because I have a bunch of stuff I have to do. But I think we're working on puppies. Yes. This coming Saturday, the 18th, is our After Dark edition, so make sure you guys check that out with Mama Joyce and Sherlock Cheryl, where we are still working on our friendship table runners. Hopefully those will be coming together here soon. So we're going to be working on that on the 18th, and then on the 19th, which is Sunday, we'll be working on our puppies project. We are going to need to cut that particular live stream short by about half an hour. I do have a family event that I need to attend. And then we also have our live stream with Katie that evening as well, which I may actually be a little bit late to that. I've already told her I will be there, but I may be a minute or two late. We'll have to wait and see. So we'll see how things go. So next weekend's going to be a very busy weekend for me. Excuse me. But yeah, so next weekend, After Dark Saturday, Puppies Project on Sunday. We'll also be back here on Wednesday for Whip Wednesday. Make sure you join me then. But yeah, lots of fun things. Libations needed. That's right. You've got a whole week. I've given you an advanced warning. That's right. All right, friends. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me this morning. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, rest of your day, and I will see you back here in just a couple days. Bye for now.